A new era begins, and it's built to be legendary. Power meets pride as the Athletes Unlimited Softball League takes the national stage for the very first time. A league born to break barriers, and a moment built for history. Volts, blaze. This is more than a debut. This is legendary.
When I was little,
I wanted to be Natasha Watley.
I wanted to be Jenny Finch. But I never thought I'd be in the big leagues. Because there was never a league like this.
The next legendary big league is here. Built by legends of the game to be unlike any other. Athletes Unlimited Softball League. Unlimited potential. Unlimited impact. Where we're all one team, even when we're rivals. A league that will be legendary from the moment it launches. This is legendary.
Welcome to the Athletes Unlimited Softball League, presented by Coke. We're doing it, folks. History in the making. We've clicked our heels and found ourselves in Kansas, Wichita, to be exact. Wilkins Stadium, dressing up nicely for the inaugural opening day of the AUSL Athletes Unlimited Softball League. We got a supercharged matchup coming your way. We've got the Volts, we've got the Blaze, and we have two elite two-way talents in the circle for the Volts. Rachel Garcia, the former UCLA All-American. She'll not only pitch, she'll hit for herself. The same for the Blazes, Alicia Ocasio. She'll be the starting pitcher. She is a wondrous talent playing in her athletic prime. So glad you found us, everybody. This is going to be fun and historic. With my partner, Kenzie Fowler, I am Eric Collins. And Kenzie, everyone loves something new. This is about as new as it gets. This is a brand new professional softball league, and it's doing things the right way.
It feels very big, and you know, I got a little emotional this morning thinking about how many people have been dreaming for this moment, but more importantly, how many people have been working for this moment and earning this moment for our sport. But like you're saying, it feels big.
A lot of people have been playing on dusty fields for decades to get us to this moment right now, and we're going to enjoy it. Okay, let's talk defense right now. One of the best defenders in the world will be in our game today, Aaliyah Andrews.
One of the things that sticks out for me with AUSL on the professional level is the defense that we see here. And Aaliyah Andrews is one of the best, if not the best, at the center field position. She's going to get it done, diving all over the field. She's been doing it for a long time. LSU, great. There's so many elite defenders, but she really stands out. And it's just the electric plays that you're going to see all summer long on this field at this level. It is the best of the best. That's electric. I mean, come on. What else do you want?
Well, we already talked a little bit about Rachel Garcia. Rachel Garcia, we're going to see her playing at her athletic best. We've seen her as a college All-American. Player of the Year 2 times at UCLA. We've seen her on the international stage, playing for Team USA in the Olympics. Now she's a pro, and she's going to play just like she's always done, hitting for herself and also pitching.
Yeah, when the AUSL first had the draft, I was keeping my eye on who was going to draft Rachel Garcia, because she, to me, is just one of those players that is so dynamic, because what she's been able to do on both sides of the ball. Of course, a power pitcher, she's going to get the start today. I love that. And then, of course, power hitter. One of the best, if not the best, in terms of that dynamic talent that she brings. Very similar to Elisa Fernandez, Shohei Ohtani type of player. And I love to see her get the start for AUSL here on opening day.
And she's playing for the Volts, and she is smack dab right in the middle of the lineup for the Volts, managed by Kelly Kretschmann. Leading things off will be Amanda Lorenz, one of the best hitters alive today. She's a line drive waiting to happen. Allie Newland, Jessie Warren at the hot corner. There's Rachel Garcia. Michaela Edenfield just finished up her experience at Florida State playing for Lonnie Alameda. Sierra Romero is the second sacker. Miranda Stoddard at first base. Mackenzie Clark, second-year pro in center field. And Sis Bates picking up the rear as the shortstop. That 9 will bat against AO, Alicia Ocasio.
Another vet getting the start. Florida great, national champ, AU champ, and spins it so well. The righty, what makes her so tough is how many different speeds and spins that she gives you. Has an elite off-speed drop, but can also bring the heat.
Alicia Ocasio has been playing professionally, either in the National Pro Fast Pitch or with Athletes Unlimited, since finishing her college experience at Florida, where she was a national champion back in 2015. And this is going to be an all-Gator matchup. Somewhere Tim Walton smiling. Amanda Lorenz against Alicia Ocasio to lead off our ball game. Already one AUSL game in the books earlier today, just outside of Chicago in Rosemont. Congratulations to the Bandits, defeating the Talons 3-1. Lexi Kilfoyle the win. Taylor McQuillan.
Yeah, a little pitcher's duel. Yeah. I'm always so intrigued on opening day or just early in the season, who has the advantage? Is it the pitchers? Is it the hitters? Sometimes I feel like it should be the pitchers, but as a pitcher myself, I can tell you, you need a little bit of experience to kind of touch the dirt, feel the ball, and so sometimes you'll see pitchers maybe struggle a little bit, but not in our first game today. Taylor McQuillan, Montana Fouts, everyone was looking very sharp.
We are in Wichita, Kansas, folks. Wilkins Stadium. This is on the campus of Wichita State. They love their softball here in this part of the world. And we're all loving the weather. Beautiful late afternoon, early evening for softball here in Wichita, Kansas. 82 degrees for our first pitch, which is a called strike one. Amanda Lorenz last summer was dynamic. She was the AU champion 2024, led the league in batting average, was part of some great teams. This is a different format and a whole new ball game. Pitch misses high. 2 balls and a strike to Lorenz.
Amanda Lorenz is one of the best hitters that can see a lot of pitches at the top of the lineup. She has a ton of power, gap-to-gap power, but she's always just so picky. A hitter that is very comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. But fun matchup here. These two know each other well.
2 balls and 2 strikes. High pop-up. Will it be playable? And it is. Catch made by Anissa Urtez in foul territory. And we've got 1 out. And a little bit of groundskeeping for Amanda Lorenz down the first base line. I think she was putting some dirt
I think she
first base
slipped,
to make sure that no one slips on it going forward. Okay. I like that. Thinking of others. Here's Allie Newland. Newland takes outside for ball 1. Former LSU Tiger probably feels right at home in the purple she's wearing today for the Volts.
Yeah, it's exciting to see the looks of both of these teams. The blaze with the white, all purple, and the purple helmets for the Volts. Look sharp.
League is going to bounce around different spots throughout the course of the summer. We actually will be out in Seattle at one point. And these uniforms for the Volts are going to go just perfectly out in Seattle when we play at the home stadium of University of Washington. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Couple lefties at the top of the lineup for the Volts. Ocasio is really working arm side, backdoor curve, letting her rise run.
2-hopper Urtez fumbles it and won't be able to make the play. Anissa Urtez usually airtight at shortstop. Not able to make the play, and we'll have our first base runner, Newland, on at first with 1 out.
Now that ball was hit well, but if you ask Urtez, she'll tell you that she can have that all day, every day. Just couldn't get a handle. They will rule this an error. Almost got like her feet got caught up a little bit.
Here's the great Jessie Warren. Everywhere she goes, she wears that familiar number 30. Wears it in honor of Steph Curry. She's about as good at softball as Steph Curry is at basketball, folks. Hard down the left field line and foul. And we'll do it again. You can make the argument that Jessie Warren is the greatest athlete to ever play at Florida State. Won a national championship playing for Lonnie Alameda, was the most outstanding player back in the 2018 Women's College World Series. and she has been a fantastic pro through the years. Softly hit to center field. That's where fly balls go to die. Air Aaliyah makes the play. 2 down. Better try someone else.
Well, so far you can see all the balls on the left side of the infield because Ocasio is just working arm side. So away to lefties, into righties. Try to jam up Warren there with the rise ball.
Here's Rachel Garcia. The pitcher bats for herself in the 4-hole. This is an old school matchup. We got both pitchers hitting for themselves. Garcia and Ocasio.
Yeah, these are two of the best to ever do it. National champs. They've been playing pro for a long time. International experience. It's a fun matchup. And they both do it so differently. Think about Ocasio, she's a lefty when she bats, a righty pitcher. And then Rachel Garcia is just all about the power. We'll see the power in the circle, but also has power at the plate.
There goes the runner down to second. The throw is in time. And out at second is Newland. How about Taylor Edwards showing off that strong right arm. And she gets Newland out at second, and the side is retired. So we have a half inning in the books here in Wichita, Kansas. Taylor Edwards showing off that fine right arm. And when we come back, we'll have the Blaze heading to the bat rack. Welcome back, everyone. We're in Wichita, Kansas. With Kenzie Fowler, I'm Eric Collins. Half inning in the books. No damage done by the Bolts. Their turn at the plate. We'll now see the Blaze bat here in the bottom of the first inning. The Blaze, their skipper, Alisa Goler, former Georgia Bulldog All-American. She'll have Aubrey Leach leading things off. Aaliyah Andrews, center field. She hits second. Bailey Klingler. Daniel Gibson Wharton, welcome back. Didn't play last year. Otis, Edwards, Gold, Ocasio, and Ortez rounding out the 9. They'll bat against Rachel Garcia, who's got a bit of everything in that arsenal.
Now you're going to see a lot of backdoor curves, rise balls. She kind of throws them off of the same pitch. High velocity, 70, 71, 72. Has been really working on her change and her drop in her professional career to keep her development going, give hitters different looks.
Okay, ready to go. Garcia will face Aubrey Leach. Leach, a veteran of Athletes Unlimited. She's been around for a while. Last year was the co-batting champion, along with Amanda Lorenz. They both hit .373 right on the nose. Leach, like a lot of these players, spending the last handful of days in Oklahoma City, just down the road. Part of the coaching staff with the Lady Vols. She has a chance to be a lot of different places than the softball field, folks. She's got a law degree, but she says being a lawyer can wait. I want to play ball. And she still excels. Right back to the screen.
Just so consistent at her time at Tennessee. And like you're talking about, was at the Women's College World Series. I think everyone saw her on camera when she was holding the rule book and that lengthy delay in that game versus UCLA. We all learned about Appendix G, and Aubrey Leach was the one holding the rule book in the dugout.
You've not really done much in your life until you become a meme. She was laughing with us before the game. I think if you got the law degree, it carries a little bit of weight when you pull the rule book out, right?
She looked very studious with it. She's like, I have the facts right here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2. One thing I've noticed over the years with Rachel Garcia, not afraid to throw a decent amount of pitches.
No, to your point, her pitch count can be really high on certain occasions. It's one of those things where she racks up a lot of strikeouts, but sometimes it takes some time to get there. You get 10, 12 strikeouts a game, but pitch count can get up towards 120, 130.
Garcia has excelled Athletes Unlimited in years past. 2023, She was the AUX champion, an abbreviated season that was played out in San Diego, not too far away from her home. She's from Palmdale, California. Played at UCLA, of course, and reminded a lot of people of the great Lisa Fernandez when she was there. And I really can't think of a higher compliment. On the ground, softly hit. Third baseman Jesse Warren makes it look routine. One down.
Center fielder from LSU, number 11.
That's exactly what you want out of the leadoff. If there is going to be an out, it was productive. Leach seeing a lot of pitches from Rachel Garcia, kind of just throwing her bat on this backdoor curve. And then Jesse Warren, we were talking about her when she was at the plate, but really one of the best third basemen that our game has ever seen.
Here's Aaliyah Andrews. Much like Aubrey Leach before her, it's going to put the ball down on the ground, use her speed. Oh, and 2. Aaliyah is the second of the Andrews sisters to play with Athletes Unlimited. Very first season back in 2020. Older sister AJ Andrews in the league. Man, she can pick it out in center. On the ground, foul. And we'll do it again.
Yeah, big sister AJ has been doing a lot of work for MLB Network the last couple of seasons. So I'm sure she's tuning in right now, checking out Lil Sis.
I was talking to Aaliyah before the game, absolutely stunned at the fact that one of the best defensive center fielders in the game has used the exact same glove for 6 consecutive seasons now. How is that possible? I just figured you have access to as many gloves as you want. You kind of break one in, you try another one out. Nope, she's used the same glove since her senior year at LSU.
Well, when you invest in quality, they last forever, and you take care of it, right? I still have my gloves from college, and they're over 10 years, so they hold up if you treat them nice.
Oh, and 2 to Aaliyah Andrews. And another foul ball. Well, we're talking about gloves and the fact that Aaliyah Andrews, a great defensive center fielder, wears the same glove for close to a decade now. The shortstop for the Volts, Sis Bates. She is breaking in a brand new glove. Actually looks brand new as well. And she is, man, talk about really good at the glove. But she trusts new gloves every year. Swung on and missed. So Garcia gets her first strikeout.
A lengthy battle there for Garcia coming out on the good side of it. I love the pitch finally going inside. She had been working arm side, away from Aaliyah Andrews. And so finally changes it up a little bit. And this is an off-speed curve that's dying in, dying down. Good pitch.
Here's Bailey Klingler. Klingler's second year playing with Athletes Unlimited. Played 4 years at Washington. One and one. Klingler, one of the veterans returning, but she actually should have a pretty good muscle memory. She played consistently throughout the course of the winter off season. She was actually playing professionally in Mexico, brand new Mexican pro league. She played in Monterrey. And, oh, off the glove of Sis Bates. The new glove couldn't quite contain that smash off the bat of Klingler. And that'll be a base hit. A 1-out single, or 2-out single for Klingler.
That's Husky on Husky crime there. Klingler smoking this ball, going to get that backdoor curve, so it's going to start inside to Klingler. By the time it breaks over the heart of the plate, her barrel's ready. Sis Bates giving it a try, but just hit too well.
Here's Danielle Gibson-Wharton, her first at bat in a while. She excelled Athletes Unlimited in 2023 championship season, finished third, took last summer off, became a mom. Now she's back hitting fourth in the lineup for the Blaze. And looking good into center field, off the wall. Here comes Klingler being waved around third, and she'll score. It's a 1-0 lead for the Blaze. Welcome back, Danielle Gibson-Wharton.
Second pitch of the at-bat, aggressive early in the count, backdoor curve away, just a little bit too sweet over home plate, and what a swing here from Gibson-Wharton. Mackenzie Clark giving it a run off of the warning track. And how about Klingler scoring all the way from first base?
Two-out magic for the Blaze. On the ground, Bates smothers it, and out at first is Corby Otis. Side is retired, but the Blaze, they strike first. They have themselves a 1-0 lead over Rachel Garcia's Volts. Thank everyone. You found the first professional softball game in MLB Network history. We've got the Volts, we've got the Blaze. If you're not familiar, the AUSL Athletes Unlimited Softball League, 4 teams. The Bandits and the Talons already played earlier today. We've got the Blaze and the Volts. Each team has 16 players on it. In total, throughout the course of a 2-month season, the teams are going to play 24 games each, and we're going to move around 10 different cities, culminating in a best-of-3 championship series in Alabama, Tuscaloosa to be exact, July 26th through the 30th. And oh, by the way, highly respected Kim Eng has joined Athletes Unlimited as the commissioner of the AUSL. Second inning, Rachel Garcia leads things off. She was at the plate when the top of the first inning ended. Allie Newland thrown out trying to steal second. It'll be Garcia, Edenfield, and Romero batting against Ocasio.
I'm sure we'll be talking about this a lot throughout the season, but getting kind of back to a traditional format where we're seeing teams stay with their teams and build chemistry. Of course, it is a team sport, so you know, the last couple of seasons we've had the dynamic AU league where it's individual point based, and yes, incredibly fun, but I think these players, if you ask them, were kind of dying a little bit to get back to an old school regular season. Let's build that camaraderie, get to know each other a little bit better. Of course, it's starting quickly here with opening day. You've got to practice. I know they had some spring training, quote unquote, the last couple of weeks. But
3 balls and 2 strikes to Garcia.
Think about the draft was only this year, so everything has happened so quickly, and you've got to figure out where you're going, what team you're, of course, drafted to, and then what cities you're going to be traveling to.
Ball 4. Ocasio walks Rachel Garcia. Leadoff batter aboard here in our second inning.
Catcher from Florida State, number 51, Michaela.
So Ocasio will face Michaela Edenfield. First professional at bat for Edenfield. She had a whale of a college career playing in Tallahassee at Florida State. Takes a big swing and a miss. Head coach for the Volts, Kelly Kretschmann, who knows a thing or two about hitting. And she gave Edenfield one of the highest compliments I can possibly think of. I was talking to Kelly, and she said Edenfield's power is Bustos-esque.
Ooh.
That's Crystal Bustos, for those who don't know. Crystal Bustos, light tower power, when she played on the national team for many years. And Crystal Bustos is the gold standard for a power hitter in professional softball. And just to mention anyone with Bustos,
Yeah, it's big time.
is almost unfathomable. But that's what Kelly Kretschmann said about Michaela Edenfield.
So cool to see Coach Kretschmann at third base box here for the Volts. Of course, the GM, general manager, Kat Osterman. So those two working together, knowing each other a very long time, playing not only in the pro leagues, but with Team USA in the Olympics.
There's Kelly, the first superstar at Alabama. And Alabama was just a fledgling program. Called strike 3. Welcome to the pros, Michaela Edenfield. She strikes out against Alicia Ocasio. First strikeout for Ocasio.
Working the backdoor curve, respecting the power that you were talking about from Edenfield. You can see Edenfield thinking on first Glance is going to be a little bit in, but you just have to know the break, that it's hooking back over the back corner of the plate. A ton of spin that Alicia Ocasio pitches with.
Sierra Romero next in line. Sierra, a very important part of Athletes Unlimited over the years. Hits this one on line. That one's got a chance. It's going to be against the wall. Extra bases for Romero. It's a double. Pushes Garcia to third. 2 on with just 1 out in the second inning for the Volts.
Love to see these hitters swinging early in the count. This is a rise ball that drifts a little bit over middle of the plate. And Sierra Romero, man, this is what she did when she was at Michigan, Player of the Year in the Big Ten, National Player of the Year as well. Volts, there you go.
Here's Miranda Stoddard. Important opportunity for Stoddard here. Young player batting with 2 aboard and 1 out. Infield's going to be in all the way across. It's going to take a fly ball to score a run. And Stoddard's up against it, down in the count 0-2. All right, Kenzie, if you are Stoddard, what should you expect? What are the options that Ocasio has to finish her off 0-2?
I'm looking, I mean, you have 2 strikes. You have to cover both sides of the plate. But earlier in this count, I would have been looking arm side, inside. See the waist pitch there from Ocasio, trying to get her eyes maybe leaning that way. Just knowing that her go-to pitch is the rise ball in, the backdoor curve in.
Swung on and missed. Pitch up by her eyeballs. That is the strikeout that Ocasio needed. 2 down.
So much movement. And she throws hard, Ocasio does. 68, 69 miles an hour. And the spin, you can see where that ball starts and where it finishes. 43 feet. To be able to make that ball dance like that, just so elite.
Here's Mackenzie Clark, second-year pro from Clemson. It was on this field a year ago that Mackenzie Clark made a name for herself as a pro. Fresh out of Clemson last year, she showed up and played what was called an AUX season here at Wilkins Stadium in Wichita, and impressed so much she was offered a contract to play in the championship season in Rosemont, Illinois. Two and one.
I'm sure we will be able to talk to her throughout this season, but I'm just so curious. I'm sure her mindset is so different than what it was a season ago. You have an off season, you kind of know what's in front of you. But to your point, she came out after that rookie season, or in her rookie season rather, after a phenomenal career at Clemson, and was just lights out defensively on the base paths. Has a ton of speed from the right side.
3-2. Sis Bates is on deck. Ocasio does have an open base at first to work with. We've been talking about this for many years. With Athletes Unlimited Softball, you get some of the younger players coming fresh off the college season. And they've got their swing. You know, they're going through BP. They've got games. They've just come off 50-plus games sometimes. And then you got the pros who have been playing a long time, but they didn't have a full spring of softball. What takes precedence? Last year, Clark was really good coming off of her college season. Now she's trying to figure out a way after not swinging in a game for a couple of months. But she shows a good eye. She walks. The bases are now full for the Volts. Second walk of the inning allowed by Ocasio.
A great job by Clark, forcing Ocasio to bring it around the zone, not chasing the rise, laying off. It's easy to say, but so hard to do.
Here is Sis Bates. Sis feeling right at home, wearing that purple that she wore as a Washington Husky. Known for her defense, but folks, she is a tough out. Makes Ocasio get into the zone. after watching Sis for so many years, one thing I can guarantee you, if she can bring the run home any way possible, getting hit with a pitch, a walk, getting a hit, she'll be the happiest person in all of Wichita. She'll be jumping up and down with a massive smile on her face. On the ground, it's going to be a tough play. And Bates is out by a half step at first. Aubrey Leach makes the play, and the side is retired. The Volts leave them loaded. How about that, Alicia Ocasio? So we played an inning and a half here in Wichita. Still a 1-0 lead for the Blaze.
Nonprofit leveling the playing field to collect sports equipment that will be redistributed to young athletes in underserved communities. We're invited to bring new and
Welcome back, everyone. First professional softball game in MLB Network history. We're in Wichita, Kansas. Earlier, Kim Ng, commissioner of the AUSL, said this is a watershed moment for women's sports, and especially for softball. MLB's investment will supercharge our efforts to build the sustainable professional league this sport has long deserved. Amen. Kim Ng was a heck of a softball player herself, played collegiately at the University of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And she has been involved with Athletes Unlimited for a while now. Previously, she was heavily involved, not only with individual and MLB teams, but also in Major League Baseball office. This league's in good hands. Here's Taylor Edwards. It'll be Taylor Edwards, Anna Gold, and Alicia Ocasio batting against Rachel Garcia. Home half of the second inning.
It's so important that players like Taylor Edwards are still going strong and still playing, you know, some of their best softball. This is a player that has been in the pro leagues for 10 plus years. He's been on a lot of different teams.
And Taylor Edwards has been around for long enough that when she played at Nebraska, she actually played in the Big 12. She spent her first 2 years at Nebraska playing for Rhonda Vavell in the Big 12, and then Nebraska moved to the Big 10.
Well, now that's not as, I guess, uncommon, not knowing your...
Correct, you're right.
Which conference is in, or which school is in which conference. Like my school is now in the Big 12.
Oh, yes.
So I was a
Arizona
Pac-10er,
yeah,
as well as Pac-12er.
Taylor Edwards for many years, both as a college player and as a pro, played with her twin sister, Tatum. I remember years ago, professional field, probably somewhere in Akron, Ohio, Taylor's sister Tatum was doing handstands along the foul line. She'd go all the way around the warning track just to entertain people during rain delays. That's what we did in pro ball back 10 years ago. Fly ball, left field. It's going to be playable. Amanda Lorenz makes the play. And Edwards is retired. You tell me when you can see Amanda Lorenz without a smile.
Last year's champ in the individual series. Just absolutely put on a show. Solid defender. I think a lot of us talk about her offense and how good of a hitter Amanda Lorenz is, but she's a phenomenal outfielder, can also play first base.
Here's Anna Gold. First professional at bat for Gold. Just finished a illustrious 4-year career at Duke. 54 homers. School record. Wow. Welcome to the pros. Rachel Garcia throws it right past her.
And it's so fun to see the rookies. Each team here in our matchup has 4 new players coming straight from college. Of course, Anna Gold, one of them, coming from Duke.
Wow, that ball hit the ground and hit her bat.
Sure did.
Wow, she was trying to check her swing, and the ball actually hit the bat on the bounce.
I don't know how she got her barrel to that. This would have been a live ball if it would have been fair.
It's like she's playing cricket. Another Another foul ball. This is a more traditional foul ball. Gold is from upstate New York, just outside of Albany, technically Ballston Spa, New York. If you know where Saratoga Springs is, that's right where she's from. Don't drink the water in Saratoga Springs. Swung on and missed. Garcia strikes out Gold. Second strikeout of the game for Garcia.
That pitch just so filthy. She brings the heat with a backdoor curve that's 70 miles an hour, and this is an off-speed backdoor curve. So it's going to be slower, about 7 to 8 miles an hour slower than her regular curve. And you see the bite that it had down in the zone.
Here's Alicia Ocasio hitting for herself. Such a valuable member of the Blaze with what she can do. She's one of the best pitchers in the world today. She's always a very good hitter. I'd make the argument the thing that she's best, though, is field. She fields her position as a pitcher maybe better than anyone.
Yeah, I can't think of a pitcher that fields better at her position than Ocasio. I mean, she's talented enough. She could start at third base, shortstop if they needed to. And in a league like this, smaller rosters, if you can play different positions, if you can hit for yourself, that's going to go a long way.
Two balls and two strikes. And for those of a certain age, this matchup wouldn't be that unusual. Both pitchers batting for themselves, Rachel Garcia, Alicia Ocasio. For many, 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 many years, frequently the best batter on every team was also the best pitcher. Talking Danielle Laurie, Jenny Finch, an elite hitter, Lisa Fernandez, Michelle Smith.
Can you keep going? What else we got? Nancy Evans.
Kind of ended with the whole kind of like early, like 20 years ago. Taryn Mowat. And
Kaylani Ricketts.
Oh, Kaylani Ricketts,
Lauren Hager.
Oh, my goodness, you're right.
I mean, we had a couple of two-way players this season in the collegiate level.
Lifted into the air, center field. Mackenzie Clark makes the play, and the side is retired. Garcia spins a 1-2-3 second inning. When we come back for the third inning, folks, we will have Jessie Warren hitting third for the Volts.
Hi, I'm Jessie Warren, and I play third base for the Volts. I'm competitive in anything and everything that I do. I compete with everything that I have every single time I'm doing something. I think we have the best talent in the AUSL. We have the best of the best. This is where you want to be. This is who you want to compete against. I want to be a sponge. I want to soak everything up. Even though I'm far into my game, I can still be better, and I still want to be better.
Athletes Unlimited Softball League is partnered with Coke to bring you real and inspiring stories. Athletes like Jessie Warren, who will bat third here in our third inning. It'll be Amanda Lorenz, Allie Newland, and then Warren batting against Ocasio. Amanda hits it high and deep down the left field line. It's off the wall. Extra bases for Lorenz. A leadoff double here in the third.
Man, missed a home run by half a foot. A lot of balls already hit off the top of the fence.
That's the third time today we've had a ball hit off the fence for a double.
The backdoor curve that Lorenz is looking for. Second time now through the lineup. You're talking about what Ocasio was throwing you, passing that information through the dugout. And so first pitch, Lorenz splits the plate and is looking away, and she hits it that way.
Here's Allie Newland. Newland thinking about getting Lorenz over to third. And have Warren drive her in to tie this ball game up. Only run of the game happened back in inning number 1. Ball's laid down to third, and safe at first is Newland. Newland can really get down that line in a hurry, and she beats it out. So runners on at the corners.
You know, this is one of those things where if you can sacrifice your teammate over and also get yourself on base at the same time, you're going to do it. A ton of speed, just a great athlete. little bit of a communication. It looked like there was a hesitation between Klingler and maybe Taylor Edwards behind the plate about who was going to cover that sacrifice bunt.
And we're going to have a pitching change, folks. This is new school softball, and the Bolts, they've gone one time through the order and decided, you know what, we need a different look. So Ocasio is going to come out of the game. The skipper, Elisa Goller, has decided to go to a youngster. Emma Lemley is going to pitch. So Emma Lemley, welcome to the AUSL. She'll be in the circle when we come back to Wichita. One of the recipients of the 12 golden tickets. Invitation to join the AUSL. Emma Lemley comes in. First pro experience after finishing up at Virginia Tech.
Here we go. Let's see what you got, rookie. Just going to throw hard, has good velocity. It's all about the rise ball. She throws that rise ball on 3 different levels, starts it kind of thigh high, and then just goes up from there. It's a cool moment.
Well, welcome to pro ball. You're inheriting runners on at first and third, nobody out. Your team leads by 1 run, and you're going to face everyone's All-American, Jessie Warren. So Jessie bats for the 2nd time on the season. She flew out to center field back in the 1st inning. Lemley with a snarl. Her first pro pitch. Not just a snarl, but a scream. Called strike 1. Lemley from Forest, Virginia. That's fair, down the third base line. 1 run scores. It's a tie ball game. Jessie Warren ties the game at 1.
Jessie Warren had to be so quick with her bat to turn on that pitch. That was a rise ball in tight on the hands, and Anna Gold at third base was playing a couple steps in because of the runner at third, so doesn't have a ton of reaction time. Just scorches it down the line.
Here's the cleanup hitter, Rachel Garcia. And Garcia, unafraid, swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back. Another good strike.
Yeah, that's that rise ball, and that's the same pitch that Jessie Warren hit. Turned on down the line.
One and 2. How much of a scouting report do you think a rookie like Lemley would have when it comes to pitching to Garcia?
Well, there's a lot of film on her, especially recent film. So you can talk about that if you're the team that's scouting her, right? You can just go quickly look at Synergy and pull up her clips from, you know, a couple of weeks ago. It's as fresh as it gets.
2-2.
I like that
Lemley
spot.
learning about the new pro strike zone. 3 and 2.
I do love the pro strike zone. I think the pro strike zone is better than the college game. It's more fair in my opinion.
Spoken like a former pitcher.
Hey, hey, hey.
Popped up. Catcher Edwards had no idea where it was. It's in the stands.
Yeah, the pro strike zone really rewards the river. And in the collegiate game, river can sometimes be a 50-50 strike. I'm sure if anyone's watched a lot of college softball, they would agree that the strike zone was a little tight this season.
We'll do it again. Yeah, I just think that the pitching is so good, and the hitters are so good. I think that the pitchers should be allowed to compete on an equal level, and I do think that a bit of a bigger strike zone is to everyone's benefit.
Well, it gets the hitters in swing mode, right? If you tell a hitter this is where the ball's going to be called, it's going to be a little bit up, a little bit out. Okay, go get it.
Ball 4, Garcia works the walk, and the bases are loaded. Still nobody out here in the third inning.
Rachel Garcia started that at bat down 0-2 and fought her way back to full, draws the walk, and loads them up for the Volts.
And Kelly Crutchman is having a conversation with the home plate umpire, Erin Golden, and she's going to make a change for the runner at second. So Jessie Warren will be temporarily lifted. And Warren leaves, and running for her will be that's Danica Coffey. So Danica Coffey on at second base. Here's the rookie Edenfield.
So you go from the matchup of Rachel Garcia, Emma Lemley. You've never seen that matchup before. And then you go to a matchup with Michaela Edenfield, who has faced Emma Lemley a lot in the ACC. Florida State, Virginia Tech. So I don't think Michaela Edenfield needs the scouting report because she has seen it and felt it for the last 4 seasons. These two have been going at it.
Yeah, Lemley needs to throw a strike. Pops her up. It's going to be playable. Gold calls for it and makes the play. That's the first out of the inning.
And that's 3 rookies from 3 different teams, all in the ACC. So Virginia Tech, Florida State, and then Anna Gold wrapping it up there. Coming from Duke. That was a towering infield fly. My goodness, it was just about who was going to call it. Anna Gold sticks with it. Tough play.
Here's Sierra Romero. In the history of college softball, no one has hit more Grand Slam home runs than Sierra Romero. Folks, her eyes get as big as dinner plates.
That's a great stat.
When she comes to the plate with the bases loaded.
I forgot about that stat, yeah.
11 times as a college player, she hit a Grand Slam. Good golly. Oh, 2. The greatest player, I say without hesitation, in the history of the Big Ten Conference. Sierra Romero. Oh, 2. Oh my, hard but foul. She was all over that pitch. Even with 2 strikes, you will never see Sierra Romero get cheated. Takes a massive whack every single time. Up and in. One run is already scored for the Volts. They've got the bases loaded. Pops up. Home run in a phone booth. But a foul territory catch made by Gold. That is a big second out. And Lemley is now 1 out away from getting back into that dugout.
Yeah, 2 huge outs. Working that rise. Some of those things where you know it's coming. It's going to be inside to these right-handed hitters, but she has so much movement and good velocity behind it as well. And if she can get out of this with only 1 run coming across, that's good news for the Blaze. It's a tough spot for the rookie.
Miranda Stoddard. One ball and 1 strike. For Stoddard, 3 years at Kentucky, 2 years at Arizona. Two-way player. Expect to see her pitch quite a bit this summer. Can't catch up.
I have to go right back there if I'm Emma Lumley. You see a big swing and a miss like that at a ball out of the zone. Now 2 strikes. No business going down in the zone. Go right back to that pitch.
Oof.
All right. Little setup spot right there. That's a tough pitch, especially for a hitter. You have a hitter that's looking up, swinging up in the zone on the rise. You try and sneak in that curveball, maybe setting up the rise on this pitch here. There it is.
Pop Popped up out of play. Stoddard trying to keep the inning alive. Oh, back to the backstop. Not a lot of room back there. And the runner at third, Newland, can't take a chance. Now this sets up the drama. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lumley needs to throw a strike. And there it is, right down Broadway. Lemley, really nice job. Gave up a single, but then gets 3 consecutive outs to get out of the jam with minimal damage done. It's a 1-1 tie here in Wichita. When we come back, we will talk to the great Amanda Lorenz. All tied up at 1, bottom of the 3rd inning here in Wichita, Kansas. This is the opening day of the AUSL, Athletes Unlimited Softball League. First professional softball game in MLB Network history. Folks, you're experiencing it. With Kenzie Fowler and Eric Collins, we will have Anissa Urtez, Aubrey Leach, and Aaliyah Andrews batting here in inning number 3 against Rachel Garcia. Urtez, the final batter, not to a batten, who will bat in our game. It'll be 2 Olympians facing off against each other. Anissa Urtez played in the 2020 Olympics. I guess it was held in 2021, but she was on the Mexican national team. Rachel Garcia was on Team USA, and that took home silver. Fouled at the plate, 0-1 to Urtez. How about this for a factoid? Anissa Urtez is the only player in any sport in Athletes Unlimited history with the initials AU. It was meant to be.
I already knew that because you used that fact last time we called a game together.
You got a good story, and you tell it just once you've made a mistake. Here's a ball right back to the circle, and Garcia retires AU, Anissa Urtez.
There you go.
Okay, well, how is this going to be managed by the Volts manager, Kelly Crutchman? You got Rachel Garcia pitching the 2nd time through the order. The rage in softball at all levels these days, it seems to be, you have as many good arms as you can and have a different look every time through the lineup. Does that pertain to Garcia?
Yeah, especially at this level, right? The hitters are so good, and you have a full pitching staff, right? Each team has 5 pitchers that are the best of the best. So you're seeing the Blaze kind of start to use that staff approach, but Rachel Garcia, just the 1 run in the first. Last inning went a quick 3 up, 3 down with the strikeout and a couple of pop-ups. So it's just, what kind of management, is she having in the circle? Is it easy work, or is it a little bit labored work? And so far, it's been pretty light work.
Here's Aubrey Leach. Right into the glove of the 3rd baseman, Jesse Warren. That's why they call it the hot corner. She got handcuffed, but still able to make the play.
Well, you have to respect Aubrey Leach has the ability to slap, drag, and swing away. So as a 3rd baseman, you kind of have to respect all 3. You can see where Warren's playing. She's playing in tight. And so then that's that cat and mouse game with those triple threat type hitters, which Leah Andrews is another one of those triple threat hitters, where if you see a 3rd baseman play it in, okay, well, I'm going to swing away. And you just kind of go back and forth between those triple threat lefties and those 3rd basemen.
Here's Aaliyah Andrews, 5-year pro out of LSU. Rachel Garcia has found her stride. She's now retired the last 6 in a row. 2-2.
Garcia really likes to expand the zone against left-handed hitters. Way she can get away with throwing that backdoor curve a little bit further out versus when a righty's in the box and kind of occupying that space. You only have so much room to make that ball move, but when those lefties are coming up, she really likes to run it away. See how far she can start it in the other's batter's box and then break it back over home plate.
Andrews, did she check her swing? She did. So it's 3-2. Swung on and missed. That's 7 in a row. Retired by Garcia. She has now faced 11 batters and struck out 3. Tied at 1. To the 4th we go here in Wichita. Folks, welcome back. This is the inaugural day of the AUSL Athletes Unlimited Softball League. And folks, we're not doing it alone. This is a basic partnership with Major League Baseball. And that makes it just an absolutely fantastically wonderful venture with a lot of positive vibes going forward. This isn't just kind of a one-year thing. This is a multi-year investment in women's professional softball, trying to grow the game. And what we're doing right now with Kenzie Fowler and Mara Collins, broadcasting on MLB Network, this is going to be the norm. This is the first professional softball game in MLB Network history.
And first ever partnership MLB has made with the Professional Women's League. Like, that's a big deal. And, you know, for this sport and for this league, this has been something that's decades in the making for a lot of people behind the scenes, a lot of players that, you know, played pro in years past. I mean, I think about growing up watching pro games when I was in high school. And the Arizona Heat was the team that played in Tucson in the NPF. Yep. And I remember it was a huge part of me growing up, having that professional, you know, players in front of me, thinking, all right, I can do this. This is what the highest level is all about. And it, you know, it's just about the staying power, and having the brand elevation from the MLB is going to be huge, I think, for softball.
Mackenzie Clark leads things off against Lemley here in the 4th inning. Royalty in the building. Kat Osterman, she is the general manager of the Volts, and man, what the last 24 hours has been like for her. The greatest Texas Longhorn in the history of that program, enjoying the Longhorns' win yesterday in the Women's College World Series. What a whirlwind it must have been for Kat.
Of course, she's the GM of the Volts, so, you know, business is here, but I'm sure that her heart yesterday was in Oklahoma City. As any alums would be if your team is winning a national championship or just playing in Oklahoma City.
I was watching on social media. There it is. How about that? Kat celebrating. When Kat Osterman was there, I'm telling you, she was lucky if the Longhorns could get a run. She won more games 1-0 than you could probably imagine. It's a new age. Mike White and the Longhorns, national champions. Mackenzie Clark, 3-2. Rocked foul. Now Clark, kind of a cool story. She is here as a former Clemson Tiger. Clemson, for years, did not have a softball program. Just started in the last decade. Now a really good, wonderful program. And that's not that rare. There's a whole bunch of newer programs that have started Division I and immediately became good. Clark strikes out, more and more opportunities for softball players across the country.
Yeah, and it just kind of goes to show that when you do invest in softball and you do it the right way, look what can happen. I mean, Clemson, a couple of seasons in, is already one of the best, you know, teams in the country, and pushed Texas in that super regional, almost upset them. And kind of on cue here, Brooke McCubbin, fresh off of that Clemson super regional, coming in here replacing Emma Lemley.
Well, tip of the cap to Emma Lemley. Good golly. She inherited a mess in the 3rd inning. struggled with the first 2 batters, but then retires 4 in a row before being lifted. So we've got a pitching timeout, 3rd different pitcher coming on for the Blaze. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we return. Still a 1-1 ball game as we play inning number 4 here in Wichita. New pitcher coming on for the Blaze. It's Brooke McCubbin.
Going from high velocity to a righty that spins the ball and is going to change speeds constantly. No 2 speeds will be the same. You'll see a lot of change-ups every at-bat. And kind of interesting gamesmanship here. You had the Clemson teammate and Mackenzie Clark up at the bat against Emma Lenley, and so Emma Lenley retires her, and then you make the change. So maybe not having that teammate versus teammate where there's a lot of information. Brooke McCubbin maybe potentially against Mackenzie Clark.
Good job by Lemley. First pitch swinging, Sis Bates pops it up. 1 shortstop, makes it out to the other shortstop. Caught by Urtez, 2 down. I was talking to Elisa Goller, head coach of the Blaze, asking about McCubbin, and one of the things that she said was she's going to be one of our bridge pitchers, which is a relatively new term in softball. Not a starter, not a reliever, or not a closer, but a bridge, someone with different look in the middle of a game.
Yeah, that middle reliever. You see a lot of that in baseball. Come in maybe 5th, 6th inning here in softball. Of course, the 4th here, but just maybe setting up for that closer.
Oh my goodness, absolutely lashed on a line all the way to the deepest part of the ballpark, but it's caught by Aaliyah Andrews. Amanda Lorenz has got to try someone else. Can't hit it any harder, but she hit it to the wrong person. Andrews makes it look easy, but that wasn't anything but.
Aaliyah doesn't have to leave her feet, but good drop step here, playing straight up. Amanda Lorenz giving it a ride, tracking it down. Good grab to get out of the inning.
Bottom of the 4th inning. It's a 1-1 tie. The Volts and the Blaze. This is the inaugural opening day of the AUSL Athletes Unlimited Softball League. We'll culminate this season with a championship series in Tuscaloosa, tail end of July. In total, 4 teams will play 24 games apiece. 64 players divided 4 ways, 16-person teams. We're still going to play with that unique format that was so wildly successful over the last 5 years. What was played in Rosemont for so many of those years is now called the All-Star Cup. Play with that point system where you crown one individual champion. But this is a traditional softball model with teams playing a traditional season with teams that do not change throughout the course of the summer.
I think there's definitely place for both, right? You can have that all-star series, have that individual, you know, performance-based type of format like you're talking about, and then build something big with the teams. 4 this year, 6 potentially next season, maybe tied to some team or some cities. I think that'll be huge. I cannot wait to see where those cities end up being.
Bailey Klingel leads things off. Shows bunt. Takes downstairs 1-1. Kenzie Fowler is a former pitcher. When you see someone like Klingler who's got that high leg kick, any thought process is how you would want to attack her?
Well, sometimes you can expose a little bit with a changeup if you have a lot of movement in the box. You know that she's providing a ton of power. When you see that leg kick go up, you know it's coming down, and when it comes down, that's where that power comes through. So sometimes changeup can expose it a little bit.
There's the changeup. Swung through it, 2-2. I also wonder too, beginning of the season, Klingler trying to get her timing down. That obviously is a timing mechanism. Is that just an extra wrinkle to try and get into the form that you want to be in? One extra step to round into shape. Softly hit, backhanded by the first baseman. That is Kelsey Stewart-Hunter, who's checked into the game. Makes the play flawlessly. 1 down.
Wichita native, all smiles. Garcia is rolling back to back. I love the changeup that follows that big swing and miss. Just go right back to it. Keep it simple.
Here's Danielle Gibson-Wharton. First time up, smoked a double. Drove in the Blazes' only run. That was back in the first inning. That was actually the last base hit allowed by Garcia. This game has really slowed down. Combined, we have had 13 consecutive outs since our last base runner. Told you that Danielle Gibson-Wharton didn't play last year. Took the season off. I'm not 1,000% sure, but I think she's changed her stance a little bit. I don't remember her hands being out over the plate as much as they are now 2 years ago when she last played.
Oh, they are a little bit lower. I think that's what's so great about this level is you have the ability in a long off season as a assistant coach at Arkansas, and so there's a lot of time for you to, you know, play with some things, figure out what works best, try something new. Always getting better, always finding ways to elevate.
Well, so that snaps a streak of retired batters for Garcia. I think I did.
Yeah, it's on you.
The last base runner to reach against Garcia was Gibson-Wharton in the first inning. And now she reaches here in the fourth inning with one out.
Left fielder from Florida,
I think Rachel Garcia is the type of competitor that's unjinxable. Well, the inaugural season of the AUSL features the Bandits, the Blaze, Talons, and Volts playing across the nation. You don't want to miss the action. Visit AUSL.com to buy your tickets today. AUSL, this is legendary. Called strike one to Corby Otis. Otis received her golden ticket, one of 12 handed out, finishing up her senior year at Florida. Used that transfer portal to her benefit, started off at Louisville before spending 2 years in Gainesville. Elite offensive numbers. Foul tipped right into the catcher's glove.
Now, one of two players that we saw play in Oklahoma City this season, Sam Landry, is here for the Volts with Oklahoma. Of course, Corby Otis was with Florida. Do you think they went home? Do you think they went straight from Oklahoma City?
That's a good question. We'll be here tomorrow. I'll have the answer for you tomorrow. How's that?
I think I would like to go home just to get a little quick change of clothes.
Well, if you look closely enough, somewhere in that Blaze dugout, there's a Kayla Kowalik sighting. Kayla Kowalik is eligible to play in today's game, even though she's only been in town for probably, what, 6-7 hours? She drove through the night from Oklahoma City to here in Wichita to be available to play a pro game with the Blaze. There's the walk to Otis. This past spring, Kayla Here's Edwards. And all of a sudden, the strike zone has become elusive for Garcia. And she's working on her landing spot.
It looks like the Volts have a little bit of action in the bullpen. 1-1 game here. Can't afford too many big misses.
Garcia had retired 8 in a row before the last 2 walks. And now she's 2-0 against Edwards. Peyton Gottschall getting loose in a hurry. There you go. Another good strike.
I also think it's worth noting, this is a brand new battery mate matchup with Garcia, the veteran from UCLA, graduated in 2019, or 2019 is when she won her national championship. And then you have the rookie behind the plate in Michaela Edenfield, who graduated this year.
Into right field. Play is made by Newland. That was tougher than it probably looked. That was into a sun. But Newland makes the play. They're now 2 outs.
So they are learning each other right now. Right, Michaela Edenfield was here for that summer, spring training, whatever you want to call it, for the past week. So getting to know Rachel Garcia as much as you can, but there's nothing like real game competition.
Here's Anna Gold, former Duke Blue Devil. Struck out in her first professional at bat. Off speed, 1-1. Wow, ported past her, 1-2.
That's all about the setup. The pitch prior was that off-speed curve, low and slow, sets up that curveball that's 70 miles an hour, coming in hot.
Blaze have been stymied with runners in scoring position. Nubbed at the plate, we'll do it again. Blaze scored their run against Rachel Garcia back in the first inning. 2-out double by Danielle Gibson-Wharton. Whole bunch of nothing since. At 1.8 consecutive, retired by Garcia. Super late and foul just out of the reach of Stewart-Hunter.
It's tight against the fence. Good effort.
Stewart-Hunter should know the terrain. She is a native Kansan from nearby Mays, suburban Wichita. State Player of the Year, her senior year.
Couple Florida Gators right there. Different generations, of course.
Hard but foul. It's a big hole in the lineup. Bottom part needs to come through. Golden opportunity for the Blaze. Runners on at first and at second. Gold swings at a pitch up and out of the strike zone. Garcia strikes out her 4th, and she leaves runners on at first and at second. We are still tied as we head to the 5th inning here in Wichita.
4th strikeout for Rachel Garcia, the first on the rise, spinning it out of the zone. You see the fist pump for the veteran in the circle. We're back. We've made it to the 5th inning, low scoring game. We've got a combined 6 hits. It's a
1-1 game. Rachel Garcia's pitched the entirety of this game for the Blaze. The Volts have already used 3 different pitchers. Jessie Warren driving in a run for the Volts. Danielle Gibson-Wharton driving in the only run for the Blaze. With Kinsey Fowler, I'm Eric Collins. It's the first of a 3-game series between these two ball clubs. Elsewhere in the Central Time Zone, the Talons and the Bandits playing a 3-gamer in Rosemont, Illinois, just outside Chicago. Earlier today, the Bandits won the very first game of the AUSL season, 3-1. Tip of the cap, Lexi Kilfoyle, winning pitcher. Taylor McQuillan, the great lefty from Arizona.
Bear down.
Spinning 3 shutout innings out of the pen. She's nails, has been for a long time. Allie Newland leads things off. Newland, Warren, and Garcia batting against Brooke McCubbin. McCubbin replaced Emma Lemley, who replaced Alicia Ocasio. High pop out of play. McCubbin came on and got the final 2 outs of the 4th inning. She retired Sis Bates and Amanda Lorenz. She is from Locust Grove, Georgia. Played 4 years at Clemson.
Was an absolute breakout star for the Tigers this season. Saw a lot of innings, splitting time with Reese Basinger.
Off the end of the bat, that's got some funky spin on it. Ball actually never bounced to Aubrey Leach. It just glided across the ground.
It's just the spin that she puts on her pitches results in hits like that.
Yeah, when I said it was off the end of the bat, it actually was off the end of the bat. It was on
spinning that curve.
The cup. And we're going to have another pitching change. Coming back into the game is Alicia Ocasio. So the starter, who went the first 2 innings plus, will come back in with 1 out here in the 5th inning. And with the pitching change, we'll take a quick timeout and be right back to Wilton Stadium here in Wichita. Welcome back, everyone. First ball swinging. Jessie Warren hits it deep to left field, and that one will go against the wall. Warren on her way to 3rd, and she'll make it standing. Maybe not. She's off the bag and hurt. Oh, Jessie Warren is out at 3rd as she overran the bag. Oh, Jessie chose not to slide and just couldn't get her footing, and she is in pain. That's tough. She's going to try and get up.
Yeah, you hate to see that. It was almost like she got caught up between thinking she was going to maybe go home and then last minute thought maybe I should slide. And so just a last second had to kind of put on the brakes.
Now, Jessie and the Volts had bigger fish to fry, but I'm curious how that one's going to be scored. It's at least a double. Did they give her a triple? And then the outs recorded as she overran the base?
Yes, that's what I would say.
Well, she's going to gingerly head back to that first base dugout.
Swing in first pitch, aggressive, and ball's in front of her so she can see it the whole way.
Hey, fans, give it up for the Volts for
Oh, almost like before she got to the bag, something was up. Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, just awkward. Yeah, you hate to see that. I hope she's all right.
So, and out on the bases, there are now 2 outs. And Rachel Garcia will bat with the bases clear. I understand what Jessie was thinking about. Trying to get to 3rd with just 1 out, advantageous. You can score a lot of different ways, sometimes just on a fly ball. Rachel Garcia hadn't done anything to put the ball in play. She's walked twice in our ball game. Swings at this one, hits it softly onto the green. Catch made by Aubrey Leach. Side is retired. So, because of the out on the bases, it goes down as a 1-2-3 inning for Alicia Ocasio, and we're still tied at 1. Of the inaugural season, AUSL, Athletes Unlimited Softball League. The commissioner is Kim Eng, highly regarded all over the world of stick and ball sports. Major League Baseball, she's been with many Major League Baseball teams, but softball, she says, was my first love growing up, so it's both gratifying and humbling to be given this responsibility at such a pivotal moment for the sport. She played 4 years at the University of Chicago. They are the Maroons.
Yeah,
That's an elite academic school, by the way.
Was an infielder. Had some good action photos there for her. When you think about, had 4 sisters, so that's a bat and ball family, and when it's in your family, I can speak for myself, like me and my sister, it's just, you know, growing up, it's what you fall in love with, and when one of you does it, the other one's going to do it, because guess what? Car's going to the ball field. And so you think about the Romero sisters, the Edwards sisters, it's just one of those games where if it's in your family, everyone is doing it, and that's how it was for Kim Eng and her sisters and her family. And then how fortunate are we that, you know, being the benefit of all of those years of her playing softball, working in the MLB and working in the front office, and now leading us here at AUSL.
Last time the Miami Marlins made it to the playoffs, their general manager, Kim Eng. Alicia Ocasio down in the count 0-2. Ocasio, deep history with Athletes Unlimited. She was the 2021 AU champ. That was the 2nd season of Athletes Unlimited. First season, championship was won by Kat Osterman. There were no cheap wins. Athletes Unlimited softball when you're crowning just one individual champion. Only the best of the best. Kat Osterman, Alicia Ocasio, Deja Mulipola, Odyssey Alexander. Wonderful talents over the years. Amanda Lorenz in our game today. Ocasio strikes out. That's now 5 strikeouts for Rachel Garcia. 1 down in the 5th inning.
Garcia is just really flexing her variety of pitches. That's her 3rd strikeout on the off-speed curve. We saw the strikeout in the last inning on the rise. So when you have an off-speed curve, which is moving down and away, and it's working well with your rise, which is that high heat, man, that's tough. That's tough for hitters to split the plate, not only side to side, but vertically.
Here's Edith Ortiz. Grounded right back to Garcia, her only time up. Lined into the glove of the second baseman, Romero. 2 down. Ortiz hit her right on the screws, but to the wrong spot on the field.
The ball was hit well, swinging early in the count. Backdoor curve, you can just tell the velocity that Garcia is providing because Ortiz was just late on that.
Aubrey Leach doesn't do that very often. Chooses to swing at the first pitch and unsuccessful, 0-1. Aubrey Leach sharing the batting title a year ago with Amanda Lorenz. 373 batter. Tries to bunt the ball, hits the bat twice in the batter's box. Dead ball, and it's 0-2.
Leach trying to make something happen with some short game in the box. Just a dead ball.
Garcia struck out 5. She struck out 6. Garcia may be getting better as the game has gone along. She is now retired 5 in a row. Hasn't given up a base hit since the 1st inning. 1-1 tie. To the 6th we go. Whole bunch of zeros since that 3rd inning. It's a 1-1 tie here in the 6th inning. Bolts and the Blaze. Opening day, Athletes Unlimited Softball League. Game earlier today in Rosemont, Illinois. The Bandits taking down the Talons 3-1. Alicia Ocasio started the game for the Blaze, was lifted in the 3rd inning. She came back on in the 5th, and now pitches the 6th against Edenfield, Romero, and Stoddard, unless we have a pinch hitter. Michaela Edenfield, Florida State graduate. Enormous power. Haven't seen it so far today. Strikeout and a pop-out. Popped up foul. Edenfield's coach with the Volts, Kelly Kretschmann, talking about the power of Edenfield, saying it's Bustos-esque, Crystal Bustos, one of the most feared sluggers, international and professional softball of the last 3 decades, compared with Edenfield.
54 career home runs at Florida State. Good for 3rd in program history, so power for sure.
State back on an off-speed pitch and bounces it foul. Count remains 2-2.
And as a pitcher, you know that. Alicia Ocasio, she has one of the best off-speed, so she's going to use that off-speed against a hitter like Michaela Edenfield.
It's a Gator-Seminole matchup right here. Ocasio playing a national championship with Tim Walton and the Florida Gators. Michaela Edenfield, one of the best to ever come out of Lonnie Alameda's program at Florida State. Off-speed pitch, skied, shallow left center field. And the play is made by Otis. Ocasio coming back in with 1 out in the 5th inning. It's actually touched up. Jessie Ward hit that triple, but then slid across the bag for an out. She since retired Garcia and Edenfield, and now faces Sierra Romero. Romero a double back in the 2nd inning. Popped out to 3rd with the bases loaded in the 3rd. That was the last best opportunity for the Volts.
Yeah, 1-1 ball game, but the Volts have had bases loaded twice in the 2nd and in the 3rd. Only got 1 run out of that 3rd inning. So they had their chances early.
Sierra, one of 3 Romeros collecting paychecks to play a bat and ball sport this summer. Sydney's playing with the Talons. Younger brother Mikey is a high-level prospect in the Boston Red Sox chain. 2-hopper to the shortstop. Ortez throws out Romero. 2 down. And now we will have the first at-bat of the year for Kelsey Stewart-Hunter. Kelsey Stewart-Hunter bats for the first time. Came on defensively a couple innings ago. She is from nearby Maize, Kansas. M-A-I-Z-E. She was elite in 2 sports. She was elite as a softball player, was the state player of the year, was also elite on the cheerleading team. In years past, she was telling me about all the fun things that she used to do. She was a flyer. You have bases, you have flyers, you have tumblers.
I would not have been a flyer.
No. She got thrown places.
It's a fun matchup here. These two, Alicia Ocasio and Kelsey Stewart-Hunter, they're best friends, longtime best friends.
Yeah, they overlapped at Florida when the Gators are really rolling. Oh, 0-2. Slapped into right field. 2-out base hit for Kelsey Stewart-Hunter.
Doesn't get the start, but comes in. Great at bat. This is a pitch that you can see where Taylor Edwards was set up. She was set up on the inside part of the plate, but the ball just kind of drifts over the middle out part for Kelsey Stewart-Hunter. Off speed, able to keep her hands back and just throw her barrel.
Stewart-Hunter on at first base. A lot of different things she can do. Still has the wheels to get a straight steal. Mackenzie Clark is the batter. Folks, it's getting late. We're in the 6th inning, 7-inning game, obviously. 1-1 tie. You could sit back and wait for a big player. Maybe try and make it happen yourself. Hard on the ground, that'll make it through. That may have gone right through the legs of Ocasio. So back-to-back singles allowed. Stewart-Hunter now on at second. Clark follows her at first.
Sharply hit up the middle. It's a drop ball on the outside part of the plate. Just throws her barrel.
I tell you what, I've been with a lot of softball and baseball people over the years who insist that if you look closely enough, every single game, at every single level, the ball will go through someone's legs. Either on the field or on the sidelines. An umpire, a base coach, a player, someone will have the ball go through their legs if you're looking closely enough. And it just happened right there with Ocasio.
I've never heard that before. Who told you that?
Many people.
All
Come
right.
on. High pop-up, shallow center field. Play is made by Leach. Aubrey Leach saves the day. And that'll retire the side, much to the chagrin of Sis Bates. Aubrey Leach smiling from ear to ear, and why not? That's how you do it.
This is how you get out of a jam defense. Aubrey Leach having to go a long way. Big time catch. And the Vols, another opportunity. Can't get a run. Well, Rachel Garcia had a little bit of traffic in the first inning where the Blaze was able to get a couple of hits, push one across, but since then she has really dialed it up. 6 strikeouts, and she has had a strikeout in every single inning. So that just kind of tells you she's been able to limit any chance of a big inning against a Blaze team that has a ton of big power hitters. She's gotten better as this game has progressed.
Well, she's going to go into inning number 6. Only giving up that one run that happened back in the first inning. Now tomorrow we will have game 2 of this series. Mariah Masson is going to take on Kaylani Ricketts, 2 veterans of the pro game. And then some newbies on Monday. Sam Landry will throw against Emma Lemley. We saw Lemley pitch for just a bit earlier today. Aaliyah Andrews leads things off. Andrews followed by Klingler, and then Gibson Wharton. This may be the last difficult hurdle for Rachel Garcia. She's facing 2, 3, and 4. Needs to get Andrews to begin this inning. So far, that hadn't been that big of an issue. Andrews has struck out twice in 2 plate appearances against Garcia.
Yeah, I'm really looking at Klingler and Gibson, 2 power bats in the 3-4 hole. So if Andrews can get herself on base and give those 2 hitters a chance to really put something together, like you're talking about, this feels like the inning for Blaze.
One and 2. New third baseman in the game, Tiare Jennings, who did nothing but win at Oklahoma. She's at third, replacing Jessie Warren, who had to leave. Called strike 3. 7 strikeouts for Garcia. Now the head coach for the Volts, Kelly Kretschmann, she is going old school. She is relying on one dominant starter, and Rachel Garcia has rewarded her.
When you're pitching like this, you just let her go. backdoor curve against the left-handed hitters has been so good. And then to me, it's that off-speed curve that she started to use more as the game has gone deeper. I feel like she was kind of holding that pitch back in the first 3 innings. We were seeing a lot of the hard stuff, the rise, the backdoor curve, the curve away to righties. But she's been using that off-speed a lot more.
Klingler singled and scored back in the first inning. Scored on a 2-out double by Gibson Wharton. Two and one. Three and one. Now this is going to be an important pitch right here. Garcia understands the danger that Gibson Wharton possesses. She's in the on-deck circle. You do not want to allow Klingler to get on before her. On the ground, that'll make it through. 1-out single for Klingler. And the start of a rally for the Blaze. Now going to have a chance to talk briefly with the head coach for the Bolts, Kelly Kretschmann. Kelly, how you doing over there down the first base line?
I'm doing great. I'm just so excited that this is finally getting going, and man, what kind of softball you've seen all day long.
You decided to put Rachel Garcia in the circle for the first game, and you haven't taken her out. What have you thought of her performance so far?
She's doing great. I think she's keeping them off balance. You know, she's using her changeup, her drop ball a little bit more than she used it in the first inning. She was a little bit more up in the first inning, and I think she's done a great adjustment and keeping them off balance.
Coach, what has the energy been like here for opening day?
It's been amazing. The crowd has been amazing. Our dugout's been into it the entire time. I think that's the one thing you're going to see from us all year is that just the energy and the excitement in the dugout.
Danielle Gibson Wharton takes outside. Any worries about Garcia going 3 times through the order now?
We talked about it. We actually kind of pushing her this inning, I think. We have Peyton ready to go, so hopefully she can get through Gibby here and get us through this inning, and we'll go to Peyton.
Right back to Garcia, gets one at second on the first double play!
There you go, Coach.
Rachel Garcia spins the double play ball. Coach, thank you so much. Great stuff. Kelly Kretschmann just knew, folks, when you're a softball lifer, you know when your pitcher's going to roll a double play.
Yeah, big smiles there from the head coach getting out of a jam and knowing where the Blaze was at in their lineup. 1, 6, 3, out of the jam. Rachel Garcia continues to spin it and fielding her position as well. Well, if you're just now joining us, you haven't missed a whole lot. There was a little bit of early action offensively in the first when the Blaze and Danielle Gibson Wharton hit a double, scored early in the first off of Rachel Garcia, who got the start for the Volts. And then a couple innings later, the Volts are able to answer back with Amanda Lorenz, one of the best hitters in the game, hitting an RBI double, swinging early on the first pitch. And we have had a pitcher's duel since then, 1-1. A lot of zeros. Rachel Garcia has gone the distance for the Volts, and then for the Blaze, it's been, 4 different pitching changes, 3 different arms, so 2 different strategies, but here we are nonetheless, 1-1.
Amanda Lorenz will lead things off for the Bolts. They're going to put their best foot forward. Lorenz so far today has hit the ball right on the nose twice. She doubled in the 3rd inning, and she smoked the line drive that was caught in deep center by Aaliyah Andrews in the 4th. Just trying to get on board. Routine. Leach throws out Lorenz. 1 down. That is a huge first out for Ocasio.
It's really tough for Ocasio to start this game, and then you're sitting through the middle of it. You have to stay mentally checked in, talk to your pitchers, your rookies, with Emma Lemley and Brooke McCubbin about what they're seeing, what they threw, these Volts hitters, and then when your number is called to come back in, she's ready to go, having to re-warm up as well.
Here's Allie Newland, former LSU Tiger, spent last season on the staff at North Carolina State. I imagine she was able to get some swings in at some point. You're an assistant coach. You obviously have first responsibility to your players, but you do have access to a bat and ball. Newland's put the ball in play 3 times. Reached twice, once on an error, once on a single.
Yeah, so many of these players staying around the sport, coming off of their coaching seasons, whether it's an assistant coach like Danielle Gibson Wharton at Arkansas, or like you're talking about a graduate assistant, Tiare Jennings, also a grad assistant at Oklahoma.
We've got head coaches in this league. Morgan Circle.
Yep.
Head coach at Marshall. She plays for the Bandits. Victorious today. Congratulations to the Bandits.
Vic Hayward, head coach at Nevada.
Heck yeah. You go, Vic. I thought it was great that Vic had the first at bat in the history of the AUSL. She wears number 1 because she was the first person to commit to Athletes Unlimited way back when. She's been a part of every season. Victoria Hayward. On the ground, smothered by the first baseman, Danielle Gibson Wharton, 2 down.
And also, how about Morgan Zirkle having the first ever hit for AUSL earlier today? I thought that was like really poetic. One of the veteran players that have been in this league and been on the professional stage for a lot of years, you know, having that veteran get that first hit. Kind of similar to having Victoria Hayward have the first at bat.
Here's Tiare Jennings, going to get her first at bat of the season. Came in defensively when Jesse Warren was lifted. Jennings 4 times winning a national championship at Oklahoma. One of the greatest winners in the history of the sport. Batting with the game on the line. 2 outs in the 7th inning. Sinking liner caught by Ortez on a bounce, throws to first, and the side is retired. Ortez got down low, didn't know if she caught it or not. The umpire said, you better throw it to first. She did, and the side is retired. So the Blaze, a chance to walk off win this ball game on a Saturday in Wichita. You said you... Well, if you know, you know, folks. That is actually the Arkansas River. That is not the Arkansas River. It's the Arkansas River when you're here in Wichita. Fans know that. Athletes Unlimited Softball League continues tomorrow, 2 Eastern. The Talons going to take on the Bandits. That game's in Rosemont. We'll be back here in Wichita for Game 2 of this series. Check out where to watch every game on the website, theausl.com. We come to the end of the line, folks. Bottom of the 7th inning. 1 run will do it for the Blaze. It's a 1-1 tie. If the Blaze can score, it's over. But it won't be easy. They will be working against Rachel Garcia, who has been wonderful. Garcia has given up a grand total of 3 base hits. First batter, the rookie, Corby Otis. Rookie out of Florida. Bounced to short and walked. Two and 0. On the ground, Bates backs up. Enough arm to get out Otis for the first out of the 7th inning.
That feels pretty big. You want to get rid of that leadoff batter. 7th inning. The hardest 2 innings as a pitcher are your 1st inning and the 7th inning. And Blaze scored against Rachel Garcia in that 1st inning. So that 7th inning, first out is so key.
Here's the veteran Taylor Edwards. Edwards has been a professional on a bunch of different continents. She played a couple of years in Japan. She spent 3 years National Pro Fast Pitch. She has been now in all 6 Athletes Unlimited seasons. And everywhere she has been clutch. It's a good take. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tailor-made opportunity to be a hero here on opening day in Wichita. Hard into left field. That'll be a base hit. And Edwards is aboard. Wouldn't be surprised to see a pinch runner.
That ball was scorched from Edwards. You can tell that she was looking inside, took that curveball on the outside part of the plate pitch prior, did not bite. Next pitch, Garcia gives her something on the inner half, and she is ready.
All right, so changes everywhere. We're going to have a pinch runner coming in for Edwards. Sierra Riggs, who's actually been in the game defensively and right, hadn't batted, but she will be the runner on it first. That is Sierra Briggs. Good speed there. A change in the batter's box. Anna Gold was expected to hit. She's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Elisa Golder says, you know, we're going to try someone else. And she sends Kayla Kowalik to the plate. What a 24 hours it has been for Kowalik. This time yesterday, she was in the dugout at Texas Tech, an assistant coach in the national championship game. Drove through the night to get here to Wichita so she could take her physical this morning. Clearly passed, and she's in uniform, batting with the game on the line.
That's so cool.
One and 1 to Kowalik. Everyone's All-American when she played at Kentucky. She can do a bit of everything. Small ball. She's got pop in that bat. Runs exceptionally well.
Just think about the week that she has had preparing her team, the last week at Oklahoma City. Can't imagine there would have been a lot of time for her to get meaningful work in, right? You're focused on your team and getting your players work instead of, you know, preparing yourself, but the ultimate professional. I mean, no matter what happens here, already seeing a couple of pitches very well.
There goes Briggs! Safe at second! Sierra Briggs gets herself into scoring position. Head coach Elisa Golder, aggressive here in the 7th inning.
Well, and I love it with a lefty at the plate, so kind of hiding it a little bit, kind of standing in the way of Michaela Edenfield, and you can see Edenfield was framing that, just a little bit of a hesitation. Briggs, too much speed. That is a big stolen base for Blaze.
Kowalik lines it foul. Count remains 2-2. If Edenfield hadn't framed that ball for as long as she did, Briggs is out.
Yep.
Three and 2. If Garcia's not feeling it with Kowalik, no problem issuing a walk. Really, the only runner that matters is on at second. That's an open bag. Garcia can pitch to whoever she wants. Swung on and missed. Garcia has now struck out 8.
This is a pitch that she has developed in the professional league, and during her time after UCLA, it has gotten better. Did not have this pitch when she threw in college, and that's what the professional league can do. Gives you time to tinker with some pitches, kind of use your whole arsenal. She was so dominant in college with that rise ball, with the backdoor curve. Threw a changeup, but not a lot. And you've seen her tonight use that off-speed curveball almost to every batter. I'm thinking about kind of the 4th inning on. We've seen it a lot.
A little bit of maintenance there for Garcia. Alicia Ocasio batting. Runner on at second. 2 outs in the 7th. This is Ocasio's 3rd look at Garcia. Flied out to center in the 2nd. Struck out looking in the 5th. Man, Garcia still got that pop. 113 pitches into this game. This is an old school softball starting pitching performance. Two and two.
Right before that pitch, you could see Rachel Garcia shake it. Pitch coming in from the dugout via the pitch comm. Didn't want it. Wanted something else. Got that rise.
Little flipper, foul territory, and we'll do it again.
Outfield is playing pretty shallow, just knowing the speed that Briggs has at second base. Can't afford to play too deep.
Ocasio needs to put it in play. The 2-2.
Man, this is a fun battle between these two.
If Ocasio can keep this inning going, Anissa Ortiz on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Through the wickets. It's a walk. Moving over to third goes Briggs. That is a huge 60 feet picked up by Briggs.
Well, what an at-bat from Alicia Ocasio. Saw everything that Rachel Garcia had in that at-bat, drew the count full. And this pitch, just that off-speed curve that almost looked like it tricked up Michaela Edenfield, like she was expecting something else here.
All right, meeting in the circle, and I'm going to ask you, Kenzie, with the way that pitch just went under the glove of Edenfield, who is a rookie, trying to figure out catching Rachel Garcia in the crucible of this game, does that take any pitches away from Garcia, knowing that there's a runner on a third and she doesn't want that to happen again?
You hope not, and you can't think that way, because if you're holding back pitches, well, then it's kind of game over mentally, right? You have to be all in on every single pitch that's being called. And so maybe if there was a miscommunication, you want to talk about it right there in that timeout, make sure everyone's on the same page. That runner now at third base cannot have a pass ball. Although I will say here at Wichita State, there's not a lot of room back there.
Anissa Ortiz batting with the game on the line. Ocasio, why not? Moves herself over to second base. That'll take away the force at second. Only real base runner that matters is on at third, and that's Briggs. Oh, 0-2 to Ortiz. $120 pitches. Good God. In the air, infield play is made by Romero. And that'll send us into extra innings. We will play an extra frame, maybe more, who knows? We'll start with a runner on at second base for the Bolts when we come back for the 8th inning.
Rachel Garcia has gone the distance for the Volts, and she's one of the best, showing us why. 8 strikeouts. I've talked a lot about that off speed that she's been throwing. She's also had the backdoor and the rise. So it's been hard for Blaze to really time up what they're going to look for, whether it's inside or outside, slow, high heat, and then dancing out of trouble. That was a dicey last inning, and she was able to get out of it, calm, cool, and collected. Coach Kretschmann sticking with her.
This is one of the great things about professional softball. Rachel Garcia is 28. She's been around. She is in her athletic prime. She's getting better as the years go by, and she still has this outlet to play at the highest level. This is a different Rachel Garcia than the Rachel Garcia who was the two-time collegiate player of the year. She's a better player now.
100%. I covered her a lot at UCLA when she was in the Pac-12, and I talked about it in the last half inning, but she did not have that consistent off-speed presence that she's thrown. This is a pitch that she is clearly very confident in, and man, what a difference it makes for her. And then also we love the fact that she hits as well, batting in the 4-hole for the Volts.
All right, so extra innings here in the AUSL start with a runner on at second. Tiare Jennings, who made the final out of the 7th inning, she will be in scoring position as we begin the frame. Rachel Garcia will be followed by Michaela Edenfield and then Sierra Romero, unless we see some changes. Alicia Ocasio and Rachel Garcia, the starting pitchers, both still in the game here in the 8th inning. 0-1 to Garcia. Garcia lays down the bunt. Well, it's nothing we know that Rachel Garcia can do. Pretty good bunter. And the sacrifice moves the runner over to third. It is Danica Coffey, the runner on at third. So Coffey's at third with 1 out. Edenfield's job is to put the ball in play, preferably onto the green. This is Edenfield's 3rd look at Ocasio. She struck out against her in the 2nd inning. She flied out to left in the 6th.
If I'm Edenfield here, I'm sitting 1 speed. I'm sitting something outside. Trying to get something to the right side of the field.
Top of the zone, called a strike, 1-2. Stays alive. First professional softball game, MLB Network history. And we need at least 8 innings to decide it. Be fitting if we went 9, right?
There you go.
On the ground, that'll score a run! Oh, the rookie Edenfield does her job! That's a professional at bat. And it's a 1-run lead for the Volts.
How about this 2-strike approach from the rookie? This pitch is at the letters, and she's able to get extended, throw her hands, get on top of it. And I was watching the Volts when they came in from defense to offense, and there were a lot of smiles in the huddle before they went into the dugout, and I could kind of, because of where we sit, we're pretty close, I could hear them and see them talking about first extra inning game in AUSL program history. So they are well aware of the history that they're making. And how about a rookie getting that first run across here in extras?
Well, 1's a dicey proposition. You'd like to have a lead of more than 1 as we head to the bottom half of this inning, because just like the Volts did, the Blaze are going to start with a runner on at second. Romero takes up and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. One for 3 on the day for Romero. A ringing double back in the 2nd inning. That was against Ocasio. Right to the 3rd baseman. Gold goes to second for 1 on to first, not in time. Inning continues. So Romero replaces Edenfield at first base.
Florida Gator from Wichita.
Off-speed pitch, gets Romero to kind of roll it over on a gold, shuffling her feet. Romero runs pretty well from the right side, so beating that out, keeping this inning alive for the Volts.
Yeah, probably the greatest player to ever come out of Kansas. In the batter's box right now, Kelsey Stewart-Hu, national champion as a Florida Gator, longtime member of Team USA, can play anywhere in that infield. And oh, by the way, a mother of 2. You can see the mama she's got on her pad that protects her right elbow.
I just think it's so great for our game and for this level for players like Kelsey Stewart-Hu to be on the same team as Michaela Edenfield or Mackenzie Clark, players that are 1 or 2 years into their pro development. I mean, Kelsey Stewart-Hu has really seen it all on all stages of the game. You talked about her Olympic experience. So keeping her in the game, keeping her around that next generation, those young players, kind of making that bridge, making that connection, is just going to elevate everyone in the sport. She's talking to herself to miss that bat a little bit.
She took a pitch that she thinks she could have done some damage on. 3-2.
Well, she knows Alicia Ocasio very, very well. I said this earlier, but these two are best friends for over a decade.
Three balls and 2 strikes. Romero will have a head start off the bag at first. And the pitch swings inside for ball 4. Stewart-Hu on at first base. Romero checks in at second. Yeah, the head coach for the Blaze, Elisa Goller, took out Ocasio when she was going through the lineup the second time. Now, this is the 3rd time that Ocasio has gone through the order. Deep drive to left, and it's gone! Mackenzie Clark, how do you do? That just about does it for the Volts. Mackenzie Clark puts a charge into it, and the Volts lead 5-1.
Well, it has been a pitcher's duel up until this point, and finally giving this crowd, this sold-out crowd, something to really cheer about offensively. I mean, we love a pitcher's duel, don't get me wrong, but that was just absolutely an exclamation point on this game. Look at walk, a little bat drop, not bat flip, bat drop. First pitch swinging, just gets her barrel there. Doesn't even have to finish her swing. Quick to contact, sees it deep. She is so strong. Not the tallest player in stature, but just physical. And this is what I love. I'm going to touch home plate. That was a little thing in our sport this week about touching home plate on home runs. So I'm going to touch home plate right here. Big 3-run shot.
Softly on the ground, Sis Bates is out at first base. Aubrey Leach makes a nice play, and the side is retired. But a huge 4-spot put on the board by the Volts. They lead 5-1. Can they hang on? We shall see. Are they going to challenge this?
I think they are.
Interesting. Okay, this is going to be a coach's challenge. This inning's not done just yet.
I'm here for this replay again from Mackenzie Clark. Yeah, that was just so swaggy. Just turned into her dugout, one big swing.
Okay, we do have coaches' challenges here in the AUSL. And right now, Kelly Cressman just getting greedy. She's already got 4 runs here in the top of the 8th inning and wants to keep this inning alive. Let's take a look at what they're looking at.
Sis Bates, good speed. Bang, bang there. knows whether or not there's enough to overturn it. Ooh. It's closer on replay than it looked live.
Yeah.
I thought live out for sure. Now I'm not so sure. Ball has to be in the back of the glove. Gibson Wharton giving it a stretch. Oh, she might beat that.
So call the fielder's out.
You can see the ball in the glove, but it's not in the back of the glove, and that's where the catch is secured. So this might be overturned. Like barely, though. Real close.
All right, so we're awaiting word. This can't be fun right now for the Blaze, who have already given up 4 runs here in the top of the 8th inning. They have to sweat out this challenge.
Also, you just think about the momentum. You're thinking, okay, got rid of the home run, got the bounce back with the out right after that home run. Let's get back into the dugout.
Okay, call on the field is upheld.
All right.
So that will end the top of the 8th inning, but major damage done by the Volts. They electrify the crowd. They put 4 runs on the board, and they lead the Blaze by a score of 5-1. Can the Blaze answer? We'll find out when we return to Wichita. Mackenzie Clark has been the difference maker in this 8th inning. Already 1 run in for the Bolts. She makes it 4 runs in. A 3-run homer deep into the night. This went over the scoreboard.
And you feel for Ocasio. You could see right away after that pitch was hit, she kind of hit her glove, knowing that that was a missed spot for her. She's pitched so well in relief, kind of going toe-to-toe with Rachel Garcia on the other side, who's gone the distance. But at this level, you miss once, and hitters like Mackenzie Clark will make you pay.
Now, if you don't know the topography here in Kansas, folks, it is flat. There's a chance that that ball rolled all the way to Abilene. 5-1, the Volts on top of the Blaze. Just like the Volts did, the Blaze will start with a runner on its second. Someone told me many years ago, Kansas is so flat that if you stand on your porch and your dog runs away, you can watch your dog run away for about 3 days.
Come home, I still see you. Well, there was
still running away.
Yeah, there was a young fan out in left center field who was holding her glove up a couple of batters before that Mackenzie Clark home run, so I hope she was able to go run that ball down.
If she did, she's coming back winded.
You could see her there out there in the frame.
Okay, so the inaugural day of Athletes Unlimited softball here in the 2025 campaign, Wichita, Kansas, and we're going to have an 8-inning performance by Rachel Garcia. Oh my goodness. This is the way that Courtney Foster and Lisa Ishikawa, the greats in years past, used to do it. Debbie Doom, Sis Bates on the first, 1 pitch, 1 out. Leach is retired.
If the score holds, who's your player of the game, Clark or Garcia?
Oh, wow. I'm going Garcia.
Me too.
I love what Clark did, but 1 swing of the bat does not take away 8 innings of dominance.
And look, this is where Blaze wants to be in terms of getting back in this game. This is the heart of their lineup.
Whole bunch of nothing for Aaliyah Andrews. Normally one of the best contact hitters in the pro game. This is the first time she puts the ball in play, and she flies out to left field. Had struck out 3 times. So the Blaze are down to their final out of the game. Just a reminder, folks, we got much more coming your way tomorrow. We've got 2 more games. We got one in Rosemont, Illinois. That's going to be game 2 of the Talons and the Bandits. We've got another one here, game 2 between the Volts and the Blaze. Bailey Klingler trying to keep the game alive, comes up empty. Klingler scored the only run against Garcia. That was way back in the first inning. It has been 6 2/3 of shutout softball for Garcia since. Man, she still got it. Elite velocity for Rachel Garcia. Two and one.
You can hear the cowbells. That was a giveaway today for opening day.
Garcia's one strike away from salting this one away. On the ground. This could do it. It's over. What a win for the Volts. They win on opening day here in Wichita, Kansas. The AUSL is officially underway with an 8-inning masterpiece by Rachel Garcia.
What a performance. Vintage Rachel Garcia. Big win for the Volts.
More Athletes Unlimited Softball League games coming your way tomorrow at 2 and 5 for Kenzie Fowler. I'm Eric Collins saying thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye from Wichita.